Hey everybody, here I am with you again, Mr. Reeves, continuing our look at rational numbers as we review and practice for our upcoming quiz. So in my previous video, I was doing adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing rational numbers with a little conversion mixed in there. Right now, what I'd like to do is do some problem solving with rational numbers. All right, so here we go. I'm going to look at problem number 2 right here. Randall had $75 in his bank account. He made 3 withdrawals of $18 each. All right, so just a reminder, when you do a withdrawal, that is taking money out. So it'd be negative 18 times 3, right? And if we were to do negative 18 times 3, all right, well, let's see what happens here. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2, and we get 54. So we get a negative 54. All right, so true or false, the change in his balance is negative 54. That's going to be true. All right, the account balance is equal to this. Now we have to be careful here, all right? Because what do we have here? We have a positive times a negative. So this part right here would be negative 54. But what happens? Subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. So this would be false. What we'd want to do would be to subtract a positive, right? We'd want to subtract 3 times 18, or we'd want to add. All right, so we either want to add the negative or subtract the positive. Otherwise, it's going to go up rather than go down. Does he now have a negative balance? Well, no, because he had $75, and 75 minus 54, 5 minus 4 is 1, and 7 minus 5 is 2. He actually has a positive balance of $21. Okay, all right, so that's that first problem there. How about this one? The water level in a lake was 12 inches below normal at the beginning of March. All right, it decreased 2¼ inches in March and then increased by 1 5/8 inches in April. What was the water level compared to the normal at the end of April? All right, so here, I'm going to make this to symbolize water. So this is going to symbolize the normal water level. Okay, and I'm going to put H2O for water. Normal water level. Okay, so it was 12 inches below, so it's at negative 12 inches at the beginning of March. Okay, so this is March 1. It's at negative 12 inches. All right, then it goes down 2 1/4 inches. All right, so if it goes down 2 1/4 inches and it was 12, well, now where are we at? Now we're at negative 14 1/4 inches. That's where we're at. Okay, we're at negative 24 inches, and now we are at the end of March. All right, end of March. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. So I guess that would be March 31st. All right, so we're at negative 14 1/4. All right, and then it goes up. It goes up 1 5/8 inches. So what do we have here? We have negative 14 1/4 plus 1 5/8. All right, and we want to know what that answer is. And right, by the way, this is in April. My little calendar thing kind of fell apart over here, so we'll just say that. All right, okay, well, I want to add these together. What do I have more of? I have more negatives, so when all is said and done, we're still going to be below the normal water level. All right, I want to add these together, but I need a common denominator, right? So I have 1/4 and I have 5/8. And if I look at those and I want to know what do 4 and 8 both go into, well, the smallest thing they both go into is 8, right? So this one's going to stay the same. This one I'm going to have to multiply by 2 over 2. and I'm going to get 2/8. So I now have negative 14 and 2/8 plus 1 and 5/8. All right, but then I still have another problem, don't I? Because I have more negatives, which means I need to subtract. So now I need to do 14 and 2/8, and I need to take away 1 and 5/8 to see how much more of this negative I have. All right, but I have 5, and I want to take it from 2, so what we normally would do would be borrow, right? So we'd change this to 13, and what do I get? I add 8/8, and that gives me 10/8, right? All right. So now, since I added those extra 8/8, now I can go 10/8 minus 5/8 is 5/8, and 13 minus 1 is 12. All right, so when we put this together, the answer we get is a negative 12 and 5/8. Again, when you have a positive and a negative being added, you say, what do I have more of? I have more negatives. How many more negatives do I have? Well, I got that answer by subtracting. So the answer is, all right, what was the water level? It was 12 and 5/8. This is inches below normal. All right? Not a good place to be. And it says explain how you solve the problem. Well, I just did explain it all. So there we go. All right. How about this next problem? A butcher has 10 3/4 pounds of ground beef that will be priced at $3.40 per pound. He divides the meat into 8 equal packages. To the nearest cent, what will be the price of each package? Okay. So what is our total weight? So our total weight is 10 3/4 pounds. All right? And it's at $3.40 per pound. All right, so what do we need to know? All right, we need to know the total price, don't we? All right, so how are we going to find that? Okay, if I had 2 pounds and it was $5 a pound, what would I do? Would I add, subtract, multiply, or divide? I'd multiply, right? 2 pounds at $5 a pound would be 10, so I need to multiply. So I need to do 10 3/4 times 3.40. All right? Okay, now there's several different ways we can do this. We can change both of these to improper fractions and we can multiply. We could change this to a mixed number and we can multiply. Or we can make them both decimals and we can multiply. I really think the easiest thing to do, let's just make this a decimal. Do you guys agree that 10 3/4 is the same as 10.75? I sure hope you do. 3 out of 4 is the same as 75 over 100, right? 3/4 of a dollar, 3/4 is 75 cents, right? 75 out of 100. So I'm going to take the pounds and I'm going to multiply it by the cost per pound, and that's going to give me the total cost. All right, so this 0 is simply going to give me a 0 here. All right, now I'm going to do 4 times 5 is 20, carry the 2. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 2 is 30, carry the 3. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 3 is 3, and 4 times 1 is 4. All right, and now I'm going to put 2 zeros, right? Because I had already put the 1 0 for that one. Now I'm going to put 2 zeros. Here we go. 3 times, and I'm going to erase these carry marks. Here we go. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 1 is 22. Carry the 2. 3 times 0 is 0, 2, and then 3 times 1 is 3. All right, and then I'm going to add those together. 0, 0, 5, 5, 6, and 3. All right, and then how many places do I have behind, how many places do I have behind the decimal right here? I've got 4 places, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So what do I get? I get $36.50. And just again, it's always a great idea just to estimate, right? 1075 is close to 11, and 340 is close to 3 or 4. We could say if 11 times 3 would be 33, right? And 11 times 4 would be 44. So the answer should be between 33 and 44, and it certainly is. All right, so the total price is $36.55, right? But that's for all of it. We're going to divide it into 8 equal packages. So that's right, boys and girls. Now we need to do what? Now we need to divide. All right, so here we go. 8 into 36. Well, 8 times 4 is 32, right? All right, and then I bring down the 5. By the way, the decimal is going to go right there. 8 goes into 45. Well, 8 times 5 is 40. 5, bring down the 5. All right, 8 does not go into 55 evenly. Let's see, 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 7 is 56. Oh, so close. 6, so we get 48. All right, and 55 minus 48 is going to be 7. All right, and then I'm going to bring down a 0. And 8 goes into 70. Well, 8 times 8 is 64. 8 times 9 is 72. So this would be 8. All right, 64 and 6. But it's to the nearest cent, right? And the cent would be 2 places. So the question is this $4.65 or is it $4.66? Well, because that number right there, because that number is 5 or bigger, we need to round up. What? Not 60, 50. My bad. I switched the digits around. 56 or 57. That's what it should be, right? But it's going to be this one, $4.57. All right? And again, if we just estimate, right, 4 times 8 would be 32, right, which would be too small. 5 times 8 would be 40, which would be too big. So it's between 4 times 8 and 5 times 8. So that answer makes sense. It's reasonable. All right. Again, it's between 4 times 8, which is 32, right, and 5 times 8, which is 40. It has to be between those two because it's 8 pounds, and $4.57 is a reasonable price for that. All righty, let's do a couple more, and then we will be done. Again, we're looking for problem solving with rational numbers. And, of course, these are integers, but integers are a type of rational number. All right, and Anthony? All right. I'm going to say Anthony, but that's not right. Antoine? I don't know. He has $13 in his checking account. He buys some school supplies and ends up with 5. All right, so if we say 13 minus 5, what do we get? We get 8. But what was the overall change? It was negative $8, right? Negative $8. Wow. That one was much, much easier than the other ones we were doing. I like that one. What about this one? Tony bought 3 packs of pencils for $4 each and a pencil box for $7. Mario bought 4 binders for $6 each and used a coupon for $6 off. Let's see who spent more money. All right, so if we have Tony, there's a name I can pronounce. All right, 3 times 4 is 12. Plus 7, right? So he spent a total of $19. Then we have Mario. 4 times 6 is $24. All right, but he then used a coupon for $6 off, and 24 minus 6 is 18. All right, so it was looking like Tony was going to be spending more, but that $6 off made a huge difference. All right, so who spent more money? That would be Tony spent more money by $1. All right, okay. Let's see what else they have for us. Rational numbers here. There's some more rational number fun stuff. There's some stuff with rational numbers. Doesn't look like we're to problem solving yet. Ooh, I see some problem solving. Here we go. All right, Jorge records his hours each day on a timesheet. Last week when he was ill, his timesheet was incomplete. If Jorge worked a total of 30.5 hours. All right, so his total is 30.5 hours. And since I see these are mixed numbers, I'm going to go ahead and change that to 30.5 hours. Okay? How many hours are still missing? Well, we're going to add these together to see what we do know, right? So we need to add those together. All right, so let's see what we can do here. Well, let's put the two mixed numbers together. I have 7 1/4, and I want to add that to 8 1/2. All right, so we need a common denominator, right? Well, 1/2, I sure hope you know that 1/2 is 2/4. You know that, right? 1 out of 2 is the same as 2 out of 4. So 1/4 plus 2/4 makes 3/4, right? And 7 plus 8 is 15. So these parts together are 15 3/4. And we're going to add that to 8. And when we do that, well, 8 doesn't have any fractional parts, so we just add the whole numbers together. 8 plus 15 is 23. So we get 23 3/4 on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And we know when we throw in Thursday and Friday, it has to add up to 30.5. So how am I going to find out what those two are? I need to, you guessed it, boys and girls, I need to subtract. And once again, I need a common denominator, right? So that 1/2 is going to be 2/4, right? And this is 15 3/4. Alrighty. Well, there's a couple different ways we can do it. The traditional way would be to borrow, right? We'd say, okay, I can't take 3 from 2, even though we know we can with negatives, right? So I'm going to make this 29, and then I'm going to add 4/4 because that's what 1 whole would be, right? And I get 6/4. So then 6/4 takes away 3/4 is 3/4, and then 29 take away 15 is going to be 14. All right, so these two together are 14 3/4 hours. Wow, look at that. He worked almost as many hours on Thursday and Friday as he did on the first 3 days combined. All right. Okay. So, he was ill. So, gosh, working all those hours when he was ill. 14 3/4 hours. Now, I was saying there was another way we could look at that, right? So if I took that 30 1/2 and I took that 15 3/4, right? I could take that 30 1/2 and say, okay, well, I'm going to make that 29 3/4 plus how much extra do I actually have here? I have a 1/4 plus a 1/2, which is 3/4, right? Do you see that? Can you see that 30 1/2 is 29 3/4 plus 3/4? Guys, it would be great if you memorized 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1 1/2. If you didn't know that already, it's a great thing to know that 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1 1/2. And then when I did that, 29 3/4 minus 15 3/4, that would give me my 14, and I would throw on that other 3/4. That's another way to look at it. And just since we're looking at all these different ways, all right, what about this idea? If we looked at it this way, you know, we said you can't take away, but you actually can. 2/4 take away 3/4 is negative 1/4, right? And 30 minus 15 would be 15. So what's 15 minus 1/4? It's 14 3/4. So that's 3 different ways we could have gotten that answer. I kind of like this way with the negatives. We don't usually teach it that way, but why not? Why not? You know how to do it, right? You know how to work with positive and negative numbers. All right, let's do a few more problems, and then we will be done. All right, Lay withdrew $50 from her bank account every day for a week. What was the change? All right, well, it's negative 50 every day for a week. We're going to go with the 7-day week, right? 5 times 7 is 35. So the change in her account was negative $350, right? All right, Dan is cutting 4.75 foot lengths of twine from a 240-foot spool of twine. He needs to cut 42 lengths and says that 40.5 feet of twine will remain. Show that this is reasonable. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's break this down again. He has a total of 240 feet. Okay? All right. He is going to cut 4.75 foot lengths, and he's going to cut 42 of them. So this is how much he is going to take away. And he is saying that 40.5 feet will be left. So the question is 240 minus 4.75 times 42, is that equal to 40.5? All right. So what do we need to do here? We need to do this part of the problem, don't we? Because multiplication comes before subtraction. We need to know how much he took away. All right, show that it's reasonable. Now, I'm not quite sure if they want us actually to work out the exact answer, all right, or if they want us just to estimate. Because if we were going to estimate, all right, 4.75 is close to 5, right? And 42, so I'm making that a little bit too big. And 42 is close to 40. I'm going to make that small. All right, what is 5 times 40? Well, 5 times 40 is not 80. All right, let's try that again. 5 times 40 is 200, right? 5 times 4 is 20. So this part right here, I'm just going to write it over here, would be 200. So by estimating, I would get 240 minus 200, which is what? 40. And is 40 close to 40.5? Yes. So that is reasonable. Notice they did not say prove that it's correct. If we wanted to prove it's correct, we would find this one out exactly. And if I were to just do a quick check on my calculator, 4.75 times 42 exactly is 199.5. And if I subtract that from 240, guess what I get? I get 40.5. So it is exactly correct, but by estimating, we could show that it is reasonable. All right, last problem we're going to do here. All right, Jackson works as a veterinary technician and earns $12.20 per hour. All right, so if he works 40 hours, we would do 40 times 12. 20. All right, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and put that 0 for that, and here we go. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. All right, how many digits did we have after the decimal? 2. So we get $488. And again, if we want to estimate if that's reasonable, well, this is 12 times 4. 12 times 4 is 48, right? So 12 times 40 would be 480. So that's certainly a very reasonable answer. All right, last week Jackson was ill and missed some work. If his total pay before deductions was $372, write and solve an equation to find the number of hours he worked. Okay, so normally he would make $488, right? But he only made $372.10. So what we could do is we could subtract how much he made from how much he normally would have earned, and then we could divide that by 1220, right? So that would be one option. So let's go ahead and do that, 0. Then I'm going to go ahead and borrow. All right, 10 minus 1 is 9. 7 minus 2 is 5. 8 minus 7 is 1. So $115.90. All right. And then I'm going to divide that by, so that's how much he did not earn. Right? Normally he would earn $488. All right, he earned $372, so that's how much he did not earn. So if I then took that amount and I divided it by how much he earns per hour, which is $12.20. All right, so if I do 115.9 divided by 1220, all right, what I end up getting, and as I use my calculator, guys, because this video is getting kind of long, I get 9.5. All right, so this is the number of hours that he did not work. All right, so 40 minus 9.5 is going to be what? 30.5 hours. That's kind of the long way about it, right? Or we could just take that 372.10 and we could divide that by 1220 and we should get the same answer. All right, so if I do 372.10 and I divide that by $12.20 an hour, I should get the same result of 30.5, and I do. Okay, so 30.5 hours is how much he works. So this way is probably the better way, but here's a different way we could do it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and save number 23, let you guys do that one on your own because this video's got kind of long. But if anyone needs help on number 23, just let me know, and I'm happy to work that out for you. All right, I hope this was helpful. Problem solving with rational numbers. Until next time, bye.